Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ms Legalista here. I need to turn off my phone. I forget this every time. The problem is I turn it off and then I forget to turn it back on. We are going to be talking about scams today. Why you keep falling for them. You know that people are out there trying to scam you, and yet time and time again, you keep getting scammed. Well, I'm going to be talking about three reasons why this keeps happening to you. And some of you are probably not going to like the very first reason that I'm going to talk about. And that is, you know what? You're lazy. You're lazy, you're lazy, you're lazy. And let me tell you why I say that. A lot of times there are some red flags that scammers put out there. And, we're busy. We got a lot going on. We don't feel like doing the research. And so sometimes we don't even bother to pay attention to the red flags. So I did this previous video talking about this teeth whitener scam. And actually, the reality is that if people had just clicked on the various buttons and read the information, they probably would have seen where it said, hey, you're not just going to get charged $1.03. You're actually going to get charged $94. And you're going to continue to get charged $94. But we don't want to do the research. We want it to be easy. I get it. I get it. We have a lot going on. But if you're going to be mad at someone taking advantage of you, at someone scamming you, then you have to own up to the fact that you were part of the problem. You did not do your research. And it's so easy now. It's so easy. Now, we all know scammers are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They aren't taking vacations, holidays, and weekends off. We know that. I say that all the time. But the thing about it is, there is this thing called Google that will allow you to research some of these companies, and not just companies, but people too. Some of these people that maybe you're thinking about doing some work with. You can Google them. For businesses, if you want to know if people are saying bad things about them, if they have bad reviews out there, you can go to the Better Business Bureau's website. You can go to their Facebook page. A lot of these businesses have Facebook pages, and people will be up there bringing up some of the things that they have issues with. And so a lot of times this information is out there, but we don't want to look. We don't want to take the time to do the research. Now, I will say this. I have had people contact me, and the question they ask is, hey, is this a scam? You're an attorney. You tell me. And literally, what I wind up doing is doing that very same research for them. The research that they won't do for some reason. So I don't know. You tell me why you aren't doing the research. When something feels funny, when you feel like, is this too good to be true? Why haven't you done the research? Okay? Why haven't you done the research? All right, so that's the first one. Yeah, we are a little lazy when it comes to some of this. All right, the second reason, we are trying to get something for nothing. We are trying to get something for free. Like, we don't want to pay any more than we have to. Remember that saying, you get what you pay for? You get what you pay for. Well, if you're paying nothing, what do you think you're getting? Nothing. Somebody has to pay for it. And in some cases, some of these freebies or freemium items are usually just a hook to get your email address, to get you signed up for some sort of subscription program where they can now keep you on the hook until you cancel because they're hoping you're going to cancel. That's the whole trick about health clubs, fitness memberships. It's the same sort of thinking. The idea is we're going to lowball you in the beginning. We're going to say your first month's free. And if you don't cancel after that first month, then you now have a club membership. Now, a lot of states have laws in place regarding fitness club memberships, okay? But that being aside, as long as their contract meets the state laws and they do everything they're supposed to do, a lot of times it's the same sort of thing. We're going to get you hooked by giving you nothing because they've already got the gym. So they aren't really losing out on anything if you don't come. Even if you don't come after that first visit, they haven't lost anything. But what they've gotten is your email address, your money, and then your commitment to pay that money every month until you cancel. So a lot of times we're trying to get something for free. When I was talking about the teeth whitener, when I was talking about the teeth whitener, the interesting thing was that they were only charging like $1.03. Now, so that right there should tell you, right? If it's an obviously insane, and I'm going to call it obscene, it's obscene what you're having to pay because it's either free or it's so cheap that it's unbelievable, then you should be asking yourself, well, what are they getting from me? How are they making their money from me? And that should in turn lead you to say, let me go check out the fine print. Let me go check out the fine print. You have heard those commercials where at the very end they give the disclosure and it's like really fast and you can't understand what they're saying. You would have to slow it down to even know. Slow it down. Slow it down if you're really interested. And number two, I get it. It's a commercial, it's an advertisement. They're having to pay for that time. And so that's part of the reason they're saying it fast. But the other part of the reason is they don't really want to have to be open and disclose that information to you. So they're going to say it really fast and hope you just miss it and keep on going and still want to pay for whatever it is they're selling or giving away. Slow it down if you're still interested. Do the research. Again, it's not really free. You're giving something up. And so these obscene, these obviously insane deals that you think you're getting, you're paying for it in some kind of way. So stop thinking you're going to get something for free because you're not. It's just a way for them to get their hooks into you and then at some future point in time, start making money off of you. You guys, I got a list. This last one I really want to talk about is not checking people out and sort of having unrealistic expectations here. I have had clients come to me and say, this business deal didn't work out. And for some of you, this could apply to other personal relationships too. They say, this didn't work out. We now need to break up this business deal. And they say to me, I had some concerns in the beginning, like things didn't feel right in the beginning. There were some red flags. And yet you still did the deal. That's always my question to them. Why did you still do the deal if you thought this person was going to be some sort of scammer and going to try to get over on you on the business side of things? Did you not check the person out? Remember the whole birds of a feather? See who this person's hanging around. And that's a lot of the times we don't do that kind of research. But I want to talk about one person in particular because this has come back up in the news recently. And it goes back to how people now are just scamming on social media. They are presenting this image that they're all that and they are knowledgeable and I guess, experts in some area. Hey, like me, right? Sitting here talking to you about scams, about law, reading complaints so that you can follow along. Mostly I read them and put them up there so you can see them for yourself. But many times we have social media influencers who are trying to portray a certain image and they're putting information out there about themselves, their life, and you watch and you say, hey, I would love to live a life like that. And I want to talk about Brittany Dawn for a little bit because she was more of a fitness and lifestyle influencer. She is now in court, I think in Texas. It starts this month where she was accused of being a scammer. And people followed her for a long time. But let's go over to her Instagram page first. I want to pull that up first so that we can take a look at that because she shares a lot of information here. And it's not just about fitness, it's about her faith, it's about her husband and what kind of lifestyle they're living. And again, it presents this sort of image that lots of people say, hey, I want to be like that. I want to look like that. And that's what they're going for. This is what she's selling, and that's what people are buying. So I want to go back to this part of her Instagram where she's showing her before and then her after 2009, 2019. You can see how many likes she has here. Do you see that? I mean, it was a ton. It's a ton. 10,320 likes. And she says, girl on the left, uncertainty swirled her life. Lack of confidence led to her speaking unkind words over herself. She was uncomfortable in her own skin, still smiling despite it all. This girl on the left would stand in front of mirrors in the dressing room and cry. And then she talks about girl on the right, structured in who she is. She constructed her life from the ground up. She speaks to herself in loving words, lifts herself up daily. Now, who is not going to feel like there's a connection there? Now, aside from that, I know some people are going to feel like, well, hey, I don't really like what she sort of said on the left about her life or whatever. The part is the piece you need to understand is she's sharing a vulnerability so that she can connect with people. This is her life. She was saying, this is what I was thinking. So whether you like it or dislike it, it's her truth. And this is what she was putting out there. And when people are willing to sort of share these more vulnerable parts of their lives, people are more likely to respond to that because there's typically an emotional connection there. I have felt that way. I have seen my friends felt that way. I've seen my family members felt that way. I know exactly what you're talking about, girl. People will connect with that. And let's scroll down here and you can see what I'm talking about here. Whoops. Well, only if I can, right? Skinny doesn't make you pretty. Okay, so obviously this person thinks that that was what she was talking about. I don't know that that's all that what she was talking about, but she was making it very clear that her lack of confidence came from her appearance, and um, whether or not people can say that's a good thing or a bad thing, a lot of people feel that way. I know plenty of people who say, I get up and I make sure I put on my, the outfits that make me feel good about myself. And that it's not just being skinny, but people talk about, doing their hair, putting on their makeup, making sure they've showered and put on clean clothes and that they look good and they feel more confident about themselves. And so there's more to it than just weight size. But I think people were um, taking from this what they wanted to take from this. And in this case, yeah, so you had some of that. Another person said, so inspiring. Again, you have, people connecting to that to some extent. Whoops, let me see if I can scroll down some here. All right. Another person said, don't let the girl on the left win. Just look at the beauty of the girl on the right. Another person says, this is amazing. Another person says, they are both lovely and beautiful, but the one on the right, just a smidge better. I stumbled across your Instagram. You're one of my friends. I'm happy that I did. The words in this post are truly what so many of us feel and what I face daily. So you see how she has built this connection with people by sharing her own vulnerabilities. And again, the other piece to take away here too, I think people very easily attach to the images because that's what you see, that she's lost weight and she looks like she's in shape and she's changed her hair. But part of it too is what people aren't looking a whole lot at are these years here, 2009 to 2019. That's a 10-year difference. Over 10 years, you can go from being 22 to 32. Your confidence is going to change. You're going to be more comfortable in your own skin. You're going to do things that say to yourself, hey, I'm going to take advantage of my health. And so I think that's something that people miss. A lot of people just look at the images. But again, this is how she started to build a connection with people. And people felt like, she was that girl. The girl on the left is glowing with life. You are very beautiful now, no doubt. But with age, you'll see that less is more. I applaud your overall honesty. This person would like her to see with less makeup. Yes, amazing hard work shows. I see two very different but stunning and beautiful girls. Please don't be ashamed of who you were before. So, yeah, but again, this is how she started to build some of this, and this is just one of the posts here, and you have this here too. Some people, will probably comment on, they on her size some more, but again, the whole idea here is that she was framing this sort of healthy life, and that by following her, and and I guess purchasing her products. I'm actually going to go to her page in just a second. So, for instance, here she's talking about another little day of eating is coming your way soon. And she's showing some plant based products there. So you get to see that. Again, it's a lifestyle she was selling here. Let's just be honest. This is what she was selling. Then, now, her in the weight room, her working out, her lifting. Yep. So this is a lifestyle that she was selling. And once, she got to a point where she was doing really good with this, um, you also started to see more of her with her husband when she got married. There was a lot of that going on. There's been more lately about faith. So you'll see more of that. And just more and more pictures there. Again, this is what she's selling. And so now you've got up here, 40 481,000 followers that she has. All right. Yeah, that's a lot. But I want to go over to her website that she has so that you can see that. All right, let's see if I can pull that up. Well, it just totally went away. Let's try that again. All right, this is her website. And she does sell products on this website. And you'll see here, she's got shop here, cart checkout, workouts, and so all of this stuff. So some people felt like what she was doing was a scam, and I'm going to go separately into what was going on with that. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, but I want to just talk about this checking people out beforehand. And in this case, people just sort of fell victim to what they saw. And that's what we do sometimes. What we see, the image that people put out there, and that becomes the basis for us saying, oh, we're going to, follow this person and now we're going to buy their products. And so even I recently purchased something from a business coach, and I don't think I got nearly out of it what they claimed it was going to be. I totally think it was pretty much a ripoff. But she's got her plans here, and you can see those there. And this is what people were buying. And again, up here, she's got testimonials, so you can actually see the results that people were getting. And so people were very in tune to that. Her trial actually starts this month, so we'll see how that goes. Like I said, that's going to be a whole nother video. But like I said before, a lot of times we've got these main reasons why we keep falling victims to scam. We're just not doing the homework. We're not checking people out. We're being lazy about it. We refuse to do the research. And like I said before, I've had people come to me and say, hey, this is what they said. Is this a scam? Like literally, they will give me the information and say, is this a scam? Because they won't take the time to do the research themselves. Like, how easy is it to just go online, Google, do the research, check out the website, do all those things yourself instead of just calling up an attorney? Because it's easy to call up an attorney to do it, but that doesn't teach you how to start to recognize scams yourself. So as an attorney, I frequently try to have a conversation with people. Here's what you need to look out for. But you would be surprised still how many people fall victim to scams because they are not willing to do the research Number one, they're just lazy and just will not do it. And number two, they think they're going to get something for nothing. They think that it makes sense that this company is going to give you something for $1.03 when you know it costs them at least $5 or $6 to make, another couple of dollars to mail it to you. So they're losing money. So you should be asking yourself what you're missing there, because you know that somehow they have to make money. Otherwise, they're going to be out of business. So you should be doing your research. You should be clicking on all those buttons before you buy. On Amazon, here's the thing. On Amazon, there are so many businesses on Amazon, okay? Thousands, okay? How do you know which of these companies is a good company and which is just not some scam in another country, and you're going to pay your money and you're going to get something that's a bad quality, or it doesn't work, or it's not even what you thought you were getting? Now, granted, Amazon, yeah, could kick them out and that sort of thing, but here you are, you've been scammed. How do you know? One of the things that I look at is I don't look at the 5-star reviews. I go down and look at the 1 and 2 star reviews to see exactly what people said. There have been times where people have said things like, oh, the color was not what I was expecting. Okay, well, that's not a scam issue. Coloring is going to be different based on, your computer. It's not going to be an exact match. People have said, oh, and this is in regards to buying clothing or things like that. They'll say, oh, I thought it was going to be bigger. Oh, I didn't realize what the fabric was. And some of those things, you're never going to know what it is until you actually get it. But look at the 1-star ratings and see exactly what they say. Because I have seen some that have said, this product was so cheap. It says it's made out of this and it's actually made out of this. And it's not even put well together, and they'll have pictures. And so that gives you a really good idea about the quality of the product that you're buying and whether or not it's something that you're going to have to send back or going to have to try to get your money back. But yeah, do the research, look at the details of what you're paying for, and stop just putting it off on other people. Learn to recognize the red flags so that you don't continue to be scammed by other people. Now, remember, like I said before, some of these scammers are really good, really good. As an attorney, I have gotten emails from parties who are looking to hire me, and they'll say something like, oh, they'll send me an email and it'll say something like, we are looking for someone, an attorney, to write a contract for us because we're going to be purchasing this piece of equipment from this company. And if I go and Google both companies, I can find something similar on LinkedIn, but it might not be the exact match. And they'll have their website set up, but there'll be some things that are off. And so they'll have a telephone number in there, and I'll go in and I'll Google the telephone number to see where the actual location is and comes up. And I'm telling you, I'll have stuff that just does not match sometimes. And sometimes I have emailed back and said things like, I'm sorry, but your address does not match, the location of the company, whatever, whatever. And I never hear from them again. It is amazing. And usually these emails that they send will say something like, go ahead and tell us where you want us to send you the money. Like, that is a red flag right there. We don't have an engagement letter. There's no contract between us. And yet you're already telling me you want to send me $3,000. Like, that's a scam. Remember what I said. Anytime somebody's trying to give you something for free, you ought to be looking for the downside. You ought to be looking for what the scam is. And the scam with that is, sure, they might send me $3,000 and then, or the better scam is they'll send me 5 and say, hey, oh, we're so sorry. Can you send us back the 2? And then you find out later that the 5 was a whole fraud. And now you're out 2 because you sent them back 2 out of your account. You sent them back $2,000 out of your account. That's the scam. Usually that's the scam, because they're ready to send you some money so they can send you an overage, and so that you can have to send them your money back, because that's what's going to happen when the money that you thought you got it turns out that that's fake money. That's not real money. That was a fraud. So learn to recognize these, learn to be on the lookout for them, learn to do your research. And it's not just people you don't know, it's also people you know who will also try to scam you by not telling you all the details. I I have had clients sometimes, and the thing about it is, as an attorney, you can tell they're not telling you everything and not telling you the truth and not being open. And so they'll leave parts of the story out and not be truthful. But in the end, the only person who's getting hurt there is them, because then I can't really tell them what they need to do because they're, they won't own up to all the information. So I've totally had clients not be truthful and honest. And again, the first thing I'm trying to do then is get rid of that client, because I really don't want you as a client. If that's the kind of person you are, you're just a scam artist. And I've had other people, introduce me to people that I realize, yeah, this is not somebody I want to work with. So it takes a while for you to develop those skills and to become really good at recognizing scams really fast, recognizing scam artists really fast, recognizing that something is too good to be true. That is the issue. Too good to be true. And most people don't want to go with that. When I did the video on the Moors for the blessings in no time scam, and the fact that they were going after, you know, people in the church, their Black friends and family members, and getting them all to come in and telling them this was the money that they were going to make, people wanted to believe them and wanted to say, oh, I'm going to get this money back. This is how much money I'm going to make. But didn't dig deep enough into the details to figure out how that was going to happen. Because here's the thing, even when I did the video to try to follow the whole blessings in no time scam and moving up from the fire level to the water level to the something level, I don't know, earth, even I had trouble following it. And so, if I'm looking at the paperwork and I'm looking at the diagrams and I can't figure out how they're making the money, how many of these people who put money into that did the research to try to understand how they were going to make money off of that? They didn't. They didn't do the research. Most of them trusted other people who told them to join. That was number one. They reached out to family and friends, and those family and friends of friends of friends trusted them and didn't do their own research. Number one, I keep saying it, they didn't do their own research. And number two, they thought it was an easy way to get money. There's no easy money out there. There's no easy money. You have to pay somehow. One of the other biggest sort of scams that's going on right now is in cryptocurrency. You have a lot of people jumping into that. They don't even know what it's about. They don't know what mining is about. They don't understand the fluctuations in the market. They don't understand the platform and trading. I have no idea how any of that works. So I'm not putting my money into that. I understand how a bank works. I understand how the general stock market works. But cryptocurrency, people were seeing it as a fast way to make money. They were following the news and hearing the valuations and saying, oh, it's now up here. One of my friends made like 300% in 6 months. And people go, oh, easy money. If it were easy money, it would totally be a thing and everybody would be able to figure out how to do it and legitimately make money off of it. But no, that is not what's happening. You do not hear about all of the people who have lost money in cryptocurrency. Because guess what? There is a shame and a guilt associated with failures like that, and nobody wants to be public about their failures. So you aren't going to see that on the social media platform of the influencer who talks about cryptocurrency when things get really, really, really bad. There's some people who probably will share that with you, but most people who've gotten in there who didn't really understand it and then lost money just thought of it as a lesson learned and got back out and didn't realize that they did not do the research. They did not understand what was going on with cryptocurrency. And yeah, they probably never should have gotten in it. If you don't understand it, why would you put your money in something like that you don't understand? So again, you have a lot of influencers now being sued because of that. Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, I think, is one of the ones too. I'm going from memory here. But yeah, all of these people promoted some of these cryptocurrency platforms. I guess it was FTX, if I remember correctly. But now they're being sued because they did promote it and they maybe didn't do their research about what they were promoting. And they went along with Sam Bankman-Fried and thought, oh, well, here's this great guy and he knows what he's doing. And they're trying to bring in influencers and people who are in sports and entertainment to help promote it. And people just started jumping on the bandwagon. And it's just like, you guys, you don't even know what this is, but you're just going to throw your money in it. It's like a lot of Ponzi schemes. But yes, so start doing your research. Stop being lazy. Stop jumping into things that you don't understand, and stop feeling like it like it's not going to cost you something, because it is going to cost you something. If you're paying $1.03 for something that really costs $15, you should ask yourself, where are the red flags? Where is that tiny, tiny, tiny language that is going to tell me how they are really going to get my money? This is how they're really going to get my money here. After I hit click, there's a subscription and they're going to charge me almost $95 a month. And that is the scam. All right. So go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you got some information about this. These reasons why you keep getting scammed, because you're not doing the research, you're being lazy, you're thinking you can get something for nothing, and you're falling into listening to these influencers and other people who are being vulnerable with their messaging or just promoting schemes and scams that you haven't done research on. So go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.